When a volcano erupts, it makes a lot of igneous rocks like this, and it makes the news. People are fascinated by the awesome power of nature. But a recent video shows we might not be the only intelligent life interested in watching.
Strange lights are appearing above volcanoes across the globe, and no one knows why. Are these a natural occurrence, or could they be signs of something much bigger? But hold up and keep an eye out. We're getting ahead of ourselves. Before we get to why these lights are suddenly appearing, let's look at some equally crazy phenomena. 1. Mysterious lights in between chaos and destruction. On April 16, 2024, the Mount Ruang volcano in Indonesia made its presence known. It threw vast clouds of ash, dust, and gas into the atmosphere, so much that 800 people had to evacuate the area. Villages were blanketed with volcanic debris, and authorities warned of the dangers posed by hot volcanic clouds. There was chaos everywhere, but people might have been worried about the wrong thing. While they were all trying to protect themselves from the lava and the ash, there was one more thing, one that no one was looking at. Lights appearing right above the volcanoes, and it's not something you see every day. At first, they thought it was just volcanic lightning. That's something that happens when a volcano is active and releases vast clouds of ash, dust, and gas into the atmosphere. As these particles are thrown into the air, they collide with each other at high speeds, creating friction. This friction generates static electricity, a lot like rubbing two materials together. As the static builds up within the ash cloud, it eventually discharges in the form of lightning, similar to the way thunderclouds work during a thunderstorm. The key difference lies in the fact that volcanic lightning is directly tied to the process of lava coming out and the ash cloud itself, making it a unique phenomenon that you just won't be able to take your eyes off of. Like and subscribe right now, and you'll have amazing luck for the rest of the week. 2. An attack. Throughout time, whenever there's been anything unexplainable going on in the world, the officials band together to give us some sort of logical explanation, so the people just stop asking questions. That seems to be what's going on here too. The lightning strikes we're seeing, they're all too direct, like they're aiming at something specific. Could it be an attack by someone we just can't see? All of the videos you see of this event happening have one thing in common. You can't really see where the light is coming from. That might be because the source itself is completely invisible, concealed, so the naked eye can't detect it. 3. And that's something that has happened before. On June 5, 2024, a remarkable UFO sighting took place at the Red Rocks Amphitheater in Morrison, Colorado.
Two Red Rocks Amphitheater employees saw some sort of dark metallic disc fly over the sky about a mile from the famous venue.
Several employees working late at the iconic venue say that they saw a large, dark metallic disc hovering silently in the sky at around 1 a.m.
This was on June 5th. It apparently vanished after a few seconds.
The object, described as approximately the size of a 3-story building, featured multiple windows and glowing lights. Witnesses were freaked out by the fact that the object made no sound while hovering for about 30 seconds. The sighting became even more mysterious when the object began to move slowly eastward before appearing to dissolve into thin air, leaving no visible trace. One of the witnesses emphasized the surreal nature of the event, stating that the disappearance seemed more like it just straight up vanished than sped away. Even at the speed of light, you'd have seen some sort of progression happening in the start, but there was nothing. It just up and disappeared. 4. Like the one in Ibiza. On July 31, 2024, people in Ibiza witnessed a mysterious event themselves, when a bright object appeared in the sky. A group of tourists captured a video showing the object, which was visible for only a few seconds before abruptly vanishing from sight. Nothing about the sighting seemed real. It was nothing like we'd ever seen before. But more shocking was the fact that it disappeared as fast as it all appeared. It wasn't aggressive or anything, but it seemed like it was just gathering intel on the people that were in the area at the time. That doesn't mean UFOs haven't interacted with us before. They have. 5. Like during the Belgian UFO wave.
These objects gave the impression that they wanted to be seen. With these enormous spotlights, there was no way that they were trying to hide. So why? That is the main question. Why do these objects want to be seen?
Thousands of people across Belgium reported seeing large, silent, triangular objects with bright lights.
The top orb, without budget, from the other two underneath, started to implode. It's like a dimmer switch. It was mechanical, as if there was an intelligence behind it.
The wave began in November 1989, with one of the most notable sightings involving two police officers in Eupen that saw a 120-foot-wide triangular craft with lights at its corners. The peak occurred on March 30th, 1990, when the Belgian Air Force scrambled two F-16 jets to intercept a UFO tracked on radar.
In 89, 90 we had a lot of observation from the ground, a lot of people seeing strange things in the air, and the Belgian Air Force already scrambled 2 times F-16 to observe what the people saw from the ground.
Despite detecting it, they couldn't visually confirm the object. They were just able to tell that it was a fast and weirdly moving object. In response, the Belgian government formed SOBEPS to investigate. By 1991, SOBEPS had documented over 1,000 sightings, and most of them they were never able to explain. And they're not the only ones. 6. 1859 Carrington Event. Aurora borealis is a phenomenon that happens when charged particles from the sun collide with Earth's atmosphere. So there's green, pink, and purple light across the night sky. The auroras are the most visible during the winter months and can stretch across the sky in dancing waves or arcs. It's a sight people travel to all corners of the world to see. But as normal as it might seem, it's not always like that. The Carrington event in 1859 was the most intense geomagnetic storm ever recorded, caused by a massive solar flare. The auroras that came from this were so powerful that they were visible as far south as Cuba and Hawaii. People in New England could reportedly read newspapers at night by the light of the aurora. That's how strong they were. It was amazing, but also alarming, as telegraph systems worldwide were disrupted, with some operators even receiving electric shocks. The vivid colors and unprecedented reach of the auroras shocked many who had never witnessed anything like it. 7. The 1963 Ashdown Forest Incident. Ball lightning is a rare and mysterious phenomenon where a glowing, spherical object appears during thunderstorms. These orbs of light, typically ranging from the size of a golf ball to a basketball, move unpredictably, hover, or drift, sometimes even passing through solid objects. Unlike normal lightning, ball lightning is quiet and lasts for a few seconds to minutes before vanishing, often leaving no trace of its presence. The cause of ball lightning is still not fully understood, but it has been reported worldwide. One of the most famous occurrences took place in Ashdown Forest, England, in 1963. During a thunderstorm, a witness observed a glowing sphere of light moving silently across the landscape. The ball looked like it was floating and traveling with no clear direction before it abruptly disappeared. Despite how scary it all seemed at the time, the phenomenon caused no visible damage to the surrounding area. This incident remains one of the classic examples of ball lightning, showing the world how they can be totally silent, leave no trace, but still have a massive impact. 8. 1947. Mount Rainier Incident. Lenticular clouds are a fascinating type of cloud formation that often pops up over mountains, including iconic peaks like Mount Fuji in Japan. These clouds form when moist, stable air flows over a mountain or a range of hills. As the air is forced upward by the mountain, it cools and condenses into clouds at a specific altitude. What makes lenticular clouds unique is their smooth, lens-like shape that looks like a stack of pancakes or a flying saucer. These clouds look like they're not even moving because they are continuously forming in the same location. While the air moves through and over the mountain, the cloud itself stays in place as long as the conditions, like wind speed, humidity, and air temperature, are just right. When the sun illuminates lenticular clouds, particularly during sunrise or sunset, the light can reflect off the clouds in vivid colors, ranging from soft pinks to deep oranges and purples. The dense, smooth structure of the cloud helps to scatter sunlight a lot more uniformly, which just takes their glow to the next level. In 1947, lenticular clouds over Mount Rainier in Washington sparked one of the earliest and most famous UFO scares. Pilots reported seeing disc-shaped objects hovering in the sky, which were later identified as lenticular clouds catching the sunlight. The appearance of these perfectly rounded, glowing clouds led to widespread speculation about extraterrestrial crafts, but in reality, it was just lenticular clouds. 9. The Hessdalen Lights. The Hessdalen Lights are a mysterious set of lights observed in Hessdalen Valley, Norway. These lights, first widely reported in the 1980s, appear as glowing orbs of varying colors like white, yellow, and red. They can hover in place or move quickly across the sky, sometimes lasting from a few seconds to over an hour. The lights have been spotted both day and night, though nighttime sightings are more frequent. Numerous studies have tried to explain the lights. One theory is that they are atmospheric plasma caused by interactions between the Earth's magnetic field and charged particles. Another theory suggests the piezoelectric effect, where stress in the valley's quartz-rich rocks generates electrical discharges. Some think that the geological factors, such as mineral deposits, could also contribute to the phenomenon. In 1983, scientists launched Project Hessdalen to study the lights using cameras and other instruments, but no conclusive explanation has been found. The lights have even drawn a lot of attention from UFO enthusiasts. While they haven't made any information public yet, there are rumors that there's a lot more out there than meets the eye, and it's only a matter of time before that information becomes public. 10. The Phoenix Lights.
And I'm lying in bed, I see 3 lights pop up. I grab my video camera, I run outside on the balcony, and I did capture video of formations of these lights or actual craft arranged in a V or triangle.
The Phoenix Lights incident happened on March 13, 1997, when thousands of people across Arizona, including Phoenix, reported seeing a series of unexplained lights in the sky. The event is one of the most famous UFO sightings in the United States and got a lot of media coverage. The phenomenon had 2 main events. The first was a large V-shaped formation of lights seen moving slowly over the state, stretching from the Nevada border through Phoenix to Tucson.
All right, you tell me what it is.
Witnesses described 5 to 7 bright lights in a fixed formation, some claiming they saw a solid object behind them blocking out the stars.
Lots of people saw this. You have a lot of general consistency with how this was reported. But you had skeptics saying, well, the thing that people saw going down the state was actually just aircraft.
The second event involved a series of stationary lights that appeared over the Phoenix area, hovering in the sky for several hours. The U.S. military later explained the stationary lights as flares dropped during a training exercise at the Barry Goldwater Range.
People were seeing these lights that either seemed to be attached to something or had a force field in between, because when they looked up, they blocked out the stars in between the lights.
But the V-shaped formation remains unexplained, leading to numerous theories, including UFOs or secret military aircraft. To this day, no one really knows what happened here, and there's no proof of it not being a UFO. 11. The Brown Mountain Lights.
I have one floating above the mountain.
This is crazy.
They're rising in the air.
This is wild.
Yeah, I know, right?
I didn't expect anything like this at all.
It's moving! Oh my God, it's moving!
This is almost like UFO-like.
The Brown Mountain Lights are a mysterious phenomenon that have been observed near Brown Mountain in North Carolina for over a century. These glowing orbs of light have been seen hovering over the mountain, particularly at night.
I wasn't really interested that much in the Brown Mountain Lights. We was there responding to a call. I never really looked for the Brown Mountain Lights, but all of a sudden, Les and I both approximately at the same time said, "You see that light over there?" And I said, "Yeah."
I saw an actual light come up about 30 feet off the outcropping, and it just illuminated right there.
The lights can be a bunch of different colors, from white to reddish hues, and can appear as small, floating orbs or larger, brighter lights that move slowly before vanishing. The first recorded mention of the lights dates back to the early 1900s, though local Cherokee and Catawba legends also reference strange lights in the area. The lights have continued to attract attention, with many modern sightings reported by hikers, tourists, and locals. There's a bunch of different theories that attempt to explain the Brown Mountain Lights, ranging from natural causes to paranormal explanations. Scientific explanations include atmospheric conditions like swamp gas, reflections of car headlights, or even ball lightning.
No, an aircraft would have red and green nav lights and a strobe.
It's moving.
Oh, wow.
It's moving to the left, is it?
There's an airplane.
Well, no, look at the top of Table Rock. It's just floating there.
Rising.
Some researchers even think that the lights may be caused by electrical discharges from stress on quartz-rich rocks, similar to piezoelectric effects. Yet, after so much research, no one can fully explain just what's happening out here, and chances are they never will. 12. The Stephenville Lights.
Oh my God!
This went down on January 8, 2008, when numerous residents of Stephenville, Texas, reported seeing large, bright lights in the sky. Witnesses described the lights as intensely bright, with some accounts suggesting they were part of a large, silent craft moving quickly across the sky. The lights were seen in formations, often flashing or moving in straight lines before disappearing. What made this sighting particularly interesting was the number of credible witnesses, including local law enforcement and pilots.
It left us all in shock. You know, it was out of this world.
The lights were seen for over an hour, and many described them as larger and faster than any known aircraft. The event quickly gained media attention, fueling speculation about UFOs. In response to the growing attention, the U.S. Air Force initially denied any activity in the area, but later admitted that F-16 fighter jets had been conducting training exercises nearby. This explanation did little to quell UFO theories, as many witnesses insisted the lights they saw behaved unlike conventional aircraft. It's just way too convenient that any time there's an alleged UFO somewhere, the military claims that it was nothing but planes doing an exercise. 13. Operation High Jump.
The U.S. Navy sent down a flotilla of ships under command of Admiral Byrd, and they came back after about 9 months in Antarctica.
This was a U.S. Navy expedition to Antarctica in 1946-47, officially led by Admiral Richard E. Byrd. The mission's goal was to establish a research base, but it became the subject of much speculation due to reports of strange events, including sightings of mysterious glowing lights. The glowing lights were allegedly seen by members of the expedition during flights over Antarctica. Some people describe these lights as moving objects in the sky, often following the aircraft or appearing unexpectedly in remote areas of the continent. These sightings, coupled with the isolation of Antarctica, just gave way to even more theories about unexplained phenomena occurring during the operation. Over the years, conspiracy theories have surrounded Operation High Jump, with some speculating that the glowing lights were evidence of secret technologies.
Flying saucers dealt a very heavy defeat to Byrd's Operation High Jump. He gave a report in March of 1947 that said a new enemy had been discovered that could fly from pole to pole in an instant.
Possibly extraterrestrial in origin. If that wasn't bad enough, some even think that they might be remnants of hidden Nazi bases from World War II. Despite these claims, no official explanation was ever provided, and the US government has maintained that the operation was strictly a scientific and military mission. But was it? We'll never know for sure. 14. The Naga Fireballs.
Thousands of people will flock to Pakgam district tonight hoping to witness the strange phenomenon of the Naga fireballs, where orbs of floating light rise mysteriously from the muddy waters of the Mekong.
The Naga fireballs have been observed along the Mekong River in Thailand and Laos, where glowing orbs of light are seen rising from the water and floating into the sky. These fireballs, usually reddish or pinkish, look like they're rising silently from the river's surface and disappear within seconds. The sightings tend to happen mostly in October during the Buddhist celebration of the end of Buddhist Lent, particularly around the full moon. Local folklore attributes the fireballs to the mythical Naga, a serpent-like creature said to live in the Mekong River. The fireballs are believed to be offerings from the Naga, honoring the festival. Thousands of people gather annually to witness the event, which has become a significant cultural and religious celebration. Scientific explanations for the Naga fireballs vary. Some theories suggest that the lights could be caused by natural gas released from the riverbed, igniting when it contacts the atmosphere. Others propose that the phenomenon is a combination of atmospheric conditions and temperature changes in the river. But there might be a little more time before we find out the real truth about this place. 15. St. Elmo's Fire. St. Elmo's Fire is a very rare weather event that's known for the glowing blue or violet light that forms around the tips of pointed objects like ship masts, church spires, or airplane wings during thunderstorms or intense electrical activity in the atmosphere. This happens when the electric field around an object becomes strong enough to ionize the surrounding air, causing it to emit light. The glow really looks like fire, hence the name, though it is not actually flame, but rather a form of plasma. St. Elmo's Fire has been observed for centuries, especially by sailors who often saw the eerie glow on the masts of their ships during storms at sea. In aviation, it has been reported on the tips of aircraft wings or antennas when flying through heavily charged storm clouds. While visually, they look very scary, St. Elmo's fire is harmless, though it indicates the presence of strong electrical fields, which can be dangerous in the context of storms or lightning. 16. Meteor showers. Meteor showers happen when the Earth passes through the debris left by comets or asteroids, causing particles to burn up as they enter the atmosphere at high speeds. These particles, often as small as grains of sand, create bright streaks of light, known as shooting stars. Occasionally, larger debris can create fireballs, which are much brighter and more dramatic as they break apart. A recent incident happened in February 2023, when a meteor exploded over southern France. This meteor, named 2023 CX-1, entered Earth's atmosphere, creating a fireball visible across parts of Europe. It was relatively small, around 1 meter in diameter, but still managed to light up the night sky before disintegrating. Pieces of the meteor or meteorites were later recovered. The incident was notable because the meteor was detected by astronomers just hours before its entry. This advanced detection showcases how far technology has come in tracking objects on a collision course with Earth. While most meteors burn up upon entry, the event served as a reminder of the constant flux of space debris entering our atmosphere, some of which can make for impressive natural light displays. 17. Satellites. Satellites, including the International Space Station, often reflect sunlight as they orbit Earth, creating visible streaks or flashes of light in the night sky. These reflections, known as satellite flares, tend to happen when the satellite's surface, typically its solar panels, catches sunlight and reflects it toward the ground. Observers on Earth can sometimes mistake these bright flashes for meteors or other unexplained phenomena due to their sudden appearance and movement across the sky. One of the most well-known satellite flare incidents involves the Iridium satellites, which were part of a large network launched for communication purposes. Their highly reflective surfaces made them prone to creating bright flashes, sometimes brighter than Venus. These flares became popular targets for skywatchers, who could predict their appearance based on satellite tracking data. A more recent example was in June 2023, when residents across parts of Australia reported seeing strange lights in the sky. They actually looked like something strange was happening in the sky, but no one could figure out what it could be. It turned out these were reflections from a train of Starlink satellites, part of SpaceX's ongoing effort to create a global internet network. 18. Flares. Flares are often used during military exercises, as distress signals, or in fireworks displays. This is the case throughout the militaries throughout the world. Military flares, in particular, burn brightly and are designed to illuminate large areas or mark specific locations. Distress flares used by ships or aircraft also produce bright light to attract attention, while fireworks can sometimes mimic unexplained flashes when launched at night. Flares can behave unpredictably depending on wind and atmospheric conditions, sometimes appearing stationary or moving erratically. This, combined with their intense brightness, can lead to reports of strange, unexplained lights in the sky, especially when military or emergency exercises are not immediately known to the public. 19. Chelyabinsk Meteor Event. The Chelyabinsk Meteor Event of 2013 was one of the most significant meteor explosions in recent history. On February 15th, a massive fireball streaked across the sky over Chelyabinsk, Russia, catching both scientists and the general public by surprise. The meteor, estimated to be about 20 meters in diameter and weighing around 13,000 tons, entered Earth's atmosphere at a blistering speed of 60,000 ton-kilometers/h. As it came back down to Earth, the friction with the atmosphere caused it to heat up and explode approximately 30 kilometers above the ground. The explosion produced a blinding flash of light, bright enough to briefly outshine the sun. Moments later, a powerful shock wave rippled through the region, shattering windows and damaging buildings across 6 cities. More than 1,500 people were injured, primarily because of all of the broken glass, as the blast caught many off guard while they were watching the fireball. The energy released by the explosion was estimated to be equivalent to 500 kilotons of TNT, about 30 times more powerful than the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. Despite the immense force, the meteor exploded before reaching the ground, preventing even greater destruction. The Chelyabinsk event highlighted the potential hazards posed by even relatively small space objects entering Earth's atmosphere. 20. The Vitim Bolide. The Vitim Bolide event took place on September 25, 2002, when a meteor entered Earth's atmosphere and exploded over the remote Siberian region near the Vitim River in Russia. This explosion created a bright flash of light, visible for hundreds of kilometers, and a shock wave powerful enough to knock down trees and shake buildings in the surrounding area. Eyewitnesses reported seeing a bright fireball streaking across the sky, followed by a massive explosion that was likened to the detonation of a large bomb. Although the event happened in a sparsely populated region, the shockwave was felt by local communities, causing minor damage and alarming residents. Scientists believe the meteor was relatively small, around 4 to 6 meters in diameter. Its entry into the atmosphere created enough friction and heat to cause it to explode mid-air, releasing its energy before impacting the surface. The Vitim Bolide, while not as devastating as other events, added to the growing understanding of how even small celestial objects can cause significant local damage. Can you think of anything scarier than this?